This is my, those other two videos will be deleted. So anything that you may have heard or any comments that you made, I'd like for you to redo your comments. And so what I'm going to do now again is that I'm going to start. The name of this show is A Thousand Cuts. A thousand cuts is what an adversary would do to the enemy when he wanted to have, when he wanted his enemy, after the enemy was captured, to have a slow, painful death. And what they've done since then is the way we're using it today is that we're not rhetorically speaking, but we're metaphorically speaking. A thousand cuts refers to a slow destruction caused by numerous small problems. And I went on to say that the problems in our community are not small. And I mean, thousands, not just a thousand, but tens of thousands. And a lot of it is self-induced. And a lot of it is caused by the fact that we will not get involved with our history of what's going on with us. We have the uncanny ability to allow for other people to determine what it is that we're going to be and what it is that we're going to do. I gotta tell this is that we gotta stop. Lo sent a video to me and it was long and it was drawn out, and I really enjoyed that video. I'm not going to show that, and I'm sure some of you may have seen it, but what it is that the person died, and when he got up to St. Peter's, and I may be saying it quite different or quite different, but I guess that was going to be the same. The person died and went to heaven, and so you have a choice to go either heaven or hell. Now, I don't know whether the person was on the fence or in the middle and could go either place, but they gave him a choice. And so he saw heaven with all the singing, and of course, what they talk about in church. And of course, then when he went down to heaven and went to hell, he saw the devil in a tuxedo and pretty women's nice hotel. He was expecting to smell sulfur and see people in lakes of fire, and he didn't see any of that. He said, wow, this is where I want to go. So he went up there. He said, have you made up your mind? He said, yes, I want to go to hell. Well, when he went back to hell, he saw that it was smelling like sulfur, that it was lakes of fire, and the people were burning and screaming. He said, what happened to the pretty women hotel? He said, yesterday when I was there, he said, yesterday I was campaigning. Today you voted. So see, that's what they do to us. They tell us a whole bunch of lies on a whole bunch of things while they're campaigning, and then they do what they want to do, and all of it is just as destructive as the story that they tell that's hell is like. They look at what's happening to us is that the politician, they tell us one thing and do something totally different because they don't do anything that's going to help. Now, how is it that in Meridian, Mississippi, in a majority black situation, when you have a high school that's 95, 97% black, that's only graduating about 17% of the people, that's not ranking very well in America, and you have middle schools and elementary schools that are only a 5 or 10 or 15% at efficiency level. And the sad thing about this is, according to the U.S. News and World Report among colleges and schools, is that it's meeting expectation. What the hell? You mean to tell me that here we are, that we have, that we're only at 5%, that only 5% of the students at a school is at or above proficiency level for math? Only about 7% of the students or at the school is either at or above the proficiency level. And then when you get down to, does this meet expectation? It meets expectation. They expect us to fail. And that's what's sad, folks. That's a part of those thousand cut. Here we have a black mayor in Meridian, Mississippi. You have a majority black school board, a majority black city council, yet we're getting the thousand cuts. People, we got to rise up, and we're gonna have the opportunity to rise up pretty soon, because we got somebody that's running for mayor. We got Mud Deer running for mayor. We have Rita Jackson that's running for mayor in Meridian, Mississippi. And folks, I am one of the people that are so excited about her campaign. I'm one of the individuals, me and my family, that encourage her to run, because I've been keeping up with it. I know what has been happening to her. I know about her being the most qualified person to be chief of police, but didn't get that job. I know not only did Percy treat her wrong, and the city of Meridian has already settled that lawsuit and paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Still other lawsuits that's coming up. And then the thing about it is that the new mayor didn't do anything to correct the injustices that were created by the prior administration. So it's time for change, folks. Look at Dustin. Dustin is an atrocious judge. Dustin is in there, and John Howard, they both got they got something against me, and it's personal. They're misusing the government procedure. They're doing everything that the preceding administration done. And it's sad. Folks, you know what? It's sad that we have to go through these types of things. Again, we see the discrepancies in the bond. We see they have favoritism. We see how they create a situation. Now, I want to tell you guys this, and I want to read this to you. Let's talk about Magnolia Middle School student teacher ratio. This is a 6th and 8th grade. They have 297 students. 17% of the students score at or above the proficiency level for math. And then we talking about 15% at or above the proficiency level for reading. Now you got 52% male and 40% female. They rate 187 in Mississippi, and the overall score for Magnolia Middle School is 30.86, folks. We ain't talking about out of no 40 or out of a 50. The scale is 100. The highest score you can get is 100. So Magnolia Middle School, and that's sad. Let's talk about George Washington Carver Middle School, 97% black. Only 10% of the students there are at or above the proficiency level for reading, for math, and for reading 9%. So our children are not learning how to read and write. So that's sad. And so only about 15% of the students, 17% of the students at Meridian High School are at or above a proficiency level. And that's sad. That's real sad, folks. These are our children. So they are paid to miseducate our children. They are being paid. And guess what, guess what they say? They said, okay, look, let's go to Carver. It says somewhat below expectation. They don't expect our children to do good in school. They don't expect it because they know you out there in podcast land ain't doing shit but laying in your bed. You're not checking on your children and seeing that they're okay, and you're allowing for black administrators and black teachers to talk to your children anyway and not educating your child. You should be up in a roar doing all you can to make sure that your child is being educated. Somewhat below expectation. And it said 100% of the students at these schools are disadvantaged. There's only one school where the students are not disadvantaged, and that school is Poplar Spring. Only 97% are disadvantaged. Wow. I mean, the 3% of them are able to, but they still don't have to pay for lunch. And because of that, folks, these 1,000 cuts that we keep getting, and I'm going to play the video. We had a video for you, and we're going to play that. Blacks need to rise up. In 1969 and 7, the Northwest High School, the black students were being unfairly treated at Northwest Junior High School, and they walked out of the classroom. And my sister, my brother, Tuba, Doris Payne, Doris Hope, they were among the first that came up out of that school. And it was other people that came out of that school, and they had a white teacher. And I talked about that, Attorney Williams, and he lost his job behind that, and they decided to go and become a lawyer. But we need to rise up, folks, because when they got to Meridian High School, we didn't ask what was going on. They already knew because they had already shortwave radio and called the schools and let everybody know, hey, y'all need to lock the school down because those Negroes at Northwest is acting up. Y'all need to be. And when they got to the school, they came to the school. When they got close to Meridian High, where I think that's 26th Street that they walked down from Northwest. But wherever it is, the students from Meridian High, and I was one of them, left that school, and this probably was in 1970 then when this took place. And they walked, and I can tell you folks that when they got to our school, we didn't ask what was going on. We joined our people and we went and they marched. You heard Tubel talking to him now. He said, you said they, but you said we, they said they. I'm going to break it down, but I don't mind telling you when it got to the part where I can go home, I made a right turn. And now I was wrong for that. I should have went with everybody else too many of y'all out there in podcasts now making that damn same right turn I made back in 1970. You got to stop making right turns. When they get up and they get close to your house, Negroes need to rise their ass up in Meridian, Mississippi and start marching from the farthest end to the nearest end till you get downtown in that courthouse and damn demand them city councils and demand that mayor to do something, demand them to fire the entire damn school board. Because it's sad. You got John Compton still the attorney for the school board, and he's been that attorney for the school board more than 30 years. Under the same time, the pipeline him and his granddaddy came up with that. His granddaddy was Witherspoon. His mother maiden name is Witherspoon, and she's a Compton, the Compton brothers. And I tell you, he's watching those books. His job is to enrich himself, become a millionaire while your children get miseducated. How about you got the judge is gone, but then you got him still there, and he need to go. There's no way you should allow for an attorney to be over a school board when you had the Justice Department over it, and he was there. His granddaddy was there first, and then he took over. There's no way that you should have a school board that is not focusing on the education of your children. There's no way Amy Carter Ash should be a fucking superintendent superintendent over the cleaning detail at Parks and Recreation. But she don't need to be over our children. No one. You people need to rise up and get mobilized and do something about this, because it's sad that your children are not being educated and you're allowing for those same people to continue to get your money because you pay Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith, you getting paid by the citizens of Meridian, Mississippi, not all them damn crackers ass you kissing. And it's the same thing I can say. George Thomas is the only one doing a damn good job down there. Y'all hear Tubell talking to me. He said, bro, what the hell you saying? George Thomas, I say it again, is the only one doing a good job down there because he's looking out for his kind. He's watching those other city council people, keeping everybody in check and getting everything that his kind can keep to keep your kind miseducated. Keeps down there making sure that you continue to get the 1,000 cuts that your ass is getting. And if you want to be cut, damn it, get cut. But you shouldn't allow for anybody to cut on your children. And they're cutting on your children because they're not being educated. Now, I got a little upset. And I'm kind of glad I did. Because when I get upset, that's when I keep it 100 and I can flow. I got upset because I kept getting disturbed. And I don't like to be disturbed when I'm doing something I think is important. Now, I want to talk about this. I'm getting ready to bring the video up, folks. And also, I said earlier, and I'm going to say it again, is that Jace Wiggins did not shoot Reginald Jordan. He did not, according to my source, according to the eyewitness. I went out and did an expose. I'm getting ready to do the expose, but I went out and I found the people that witnessed this incident. So I'm getting ready to play the video. I'm going to play it in its entirety. I had to break it up with Q. I didn't do it. Q did a good job. And so we're getting ready to play that now. And so Q, I want you to go ahead on and bring up the first video and play it. And if you folks have any questions, you ask your questions. I'm going to read your comments and I'm going to play your questions. So go ahead, Q, and play that first video.
What's your name? And you live where? On February the 5th, Reginald Jordan got shot by a Meridian police officer. Were you there at Meridian police officer that day?
Yes, I was.
And why were you there?
I was there on a charge of contempt of court and shoplifting.
Was there anybody else there besides you?
Yes, it was three more guys, and one female.
What was one of the guys' name that you remember? Reginald Jordan was the person that was shot, right. But the person that was there also is somebody by the name of Troll that lived in Walker Hill, in East End.
Yes, he is.
Okay, and there was other people in there too. You don't know their name?
I don't know their name.
On February the 5th, Reginald Jordan was shot by a Meridian police officer. Could you tell what you witnessed?
I witnessed Reginald going to the door and asking the officer,
Demetrius Robinson.
Demetrius Robinson.
He's the biller for the city court in Meridian, Mississippi.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he asked him could he go in and see the judge, and Demetrius told him no. But he asked him again could he go, and he told him no again. At this time, Reginald proceeded to go out the door.
In other words, pass by Demetrius to see the judge, go out the door, go into the courtroom.
He proceeded to go out the holding cell door.
Okay.
To see the judge.
So he was in the holding cell.
All this happened in the holding cell.
Okay, why was Reginald Jordan in the holding cell?
He was going to court.
Okay, and he wanted to see the judge, but Demetrius wouldn't let him see. Okay, so continue on, tell what happened.
Well, he tried to go out the door.
To see the judge.
To see the judge. But Demetrius, the officer, grabbed him, threw him into the wall, to the floor, and got on top of him and started beating him with heavy blows. By that time, the young guy grabbed Demetrius' gun from up under him and shot twice.
Where did he shoot him at?
Once like in the stomach and once in the back.
Okay, continue.
And at this time, people were running, officers were running to help Demetrius, but he was holding the gun to keep the guy from shooting again. Him and another officer took the gun from Reginald and put him on his stomach and handcuffed him to the back. And at this time, Officer
Demetrius Robinson, who had been shot.
Right. Demetrius Robinson, the one officer that Reginald shot, stood over him and shot Reginald in the back twice.
While he was handcuffing on the floor.
While he was handcuffed.
In the holding cell of the Meridian Police Department.
In the holding cell of the Meridian Police Department.
You said other peoples in there witnessed that, including the Meridian Police Department officers that came in there to assist Officer Robinson.
Yes, they did.
Thank you. And I want to ask you this. Have you been threatened by anyone or anything since this incident happened?
Not just out face to face, but
folks, one of the things that I want to tell you that it's not Demetrius Robinson, it's Dietrich Robinson, or Robbins or Robinson, but you know who we're talking about, the one that got shot. He got shot in the stomach and he got shot in the thigh. Continue playing the video, Q.
A car passed me and said the word, like, keep your mouth closed, or you're not gonna make it.
So what time of day was this and how long ago did this happen?
It was about 3 days ago, and it happened as I was going across 26th Avenue and 14th Street.
About what time was it?
It was about maybe 10:30 or 11.
AM or PM?
At night.
Oh, and so you couldn't see. That information, is there anything, or are you afraid for your life?
I feel somewhat, but I got to let the people know what happened.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this video here to the FBI. I'm going to upload it to them. Is that who you want to have this video?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. And today's date is February I don't know. Let me look at my computer and see what today's date is. Do you know what the date is? Today is President Day. So it's on a Monday. So whatever day President Day is, oh, I know what it is. It's the 21st of February, if I'm not mistaken. And the time is, anyway, it's February the 19th, and it's 3:20 p.m. Thank you for this interview. I was going to go live with this, but I'm not going to because I think this is too serious. And I thank you again. Would you be willing to talk to the FBI and give a sworn affidavit to them?
Yes.
You know that lying to a federal agent or a federal employee is a felony and you could go to prison for lying. So is this the truth?
That's the truth.
Thank you.
Folks, I tell you, I it really touched me. So I'm gonna give you what was tailed and what came out is that Dietrich Robinson is the one that actually shot Reginald Jordan. And Reginald Jordan would know that. And if you see the video, next week we're gonna show you his face. One of the things that Dietrich Robinson did was that he got on top of, he grabbed a man and snatched him instead of now the man is in a holding cell. So that you know, you go to the holding cell when you've been in jail, already arrested for contempt of court, and they lock you up and you go to Kemper County and they bring you and keep you in the holding cell until you see the judge, and the judge make a determination. And so what Dietrich did is the young man attempted to go and see the judge, and Dietrich got him and slammed him into the wall, then slammed him on the floor and got on top of him and commenced beating him. And when he started beating the young man in the struggle, his gun was taken from him by Reginald Jordan, and he shot him. He was on top of him, beating him. He shot him in the stomach and then shot him in the thigh. And so by this time, when the guns goes off, I guess it was 3 shots from what I was told. I haven't heard that. The officers then come in there. Now, from what I'm told, they heard the beating or the racket, but they used to Dietrich Robinson doing that, beating inmates. If this is so, then Dietrich Robinson has already broken federal law and state law. See, when you go to jail, their job is not to beat you or to hurt you, but to ensure your safety until you go before the judge. Not everybody is guilty. Sometimes you're innocent until you're always innocent until you're proven guilty. But when you go in Meridian City Court, they use that to generate money in the general fund, and they got to get away from that. People, they got to get away from that. And so I want to say this too. That's another thing that I think Mud Deer need to address, is Mud Deer need to address that how everybody's found guilty in that courtroom. Also, Mud Deer need to address, I don't mind inclusion, but it is sad. It is sad for us to go into that courtroom and nobody's in there but white folks. Black judge, but everybody else is white. Black judge administering white justice. That's some bullshit. And we got to get away from that. Another thing that I want to say is that and going back to the story, when Dietrich Robinson got shot, the other officer came in there and grabbed the gun and held on to it and helped Dietrich Robinson wrestle the gun from Reginald Jordan, because Reginald Jordan done got shot. He done got beat. He done got the shit beat out of him. Mississippi says that because you're a police officer, you just can't kill folks. Mississippi law says that you have a right to protect and defend yourself. This Dietrich is big and strong, and he was beating this man. And that man had a right to shoot him. Y'all, yeah, I said it. He had a right to shoot his ass. Hell, that big nigga up on him. Shit, hell, who gonna let somebody beat them? If he wasn't a police officer, it'd be damn justified, self-defense. But they create all these lies and throw this little white boy up under the bus. That ain't nothing. And then they get somebody to go and tell. Now listen to him. I'm finna paraphrase a little bit. Let me tell my story. I gotta tell y'all this. Now I'm finna tell my story. This ain't the truth, but I'm gonna give you an example of what happened. Say a police officer called WTOK and tell WTOK what happened. Then WTOK reported, but it's misinformation. And so that information, we get back to Gray Holt on Reaching Out with Eddie. And so Gray Holt tell you the misinformation. Well, today you got the real truth, what actually happened. So when the other police officer came in and grabbed this young man, put his hands behind his back, and then laid him down on the floor now. I'm talking about I'm standing up now, but I'm on the floor. While this young man is on the floor, Dietrich Robinson get his gun, he got his gun, and he stand over that man and shot him twice, pow, pow, on each side of his back. Shot that man right there on both sides of his back. And that's what's wrong, folks. That's what got me so damn pissed off. And Deborah Young still the chief of police. Patrick Gale still the assistant chief. Dietrich Robinson ass ain't in jail. Talking about investigating, why ain't nobody went to jail? Only thing an outside agency do is come in there and damn validate the lies that they already done told. But it's a cover up. And if y'all Google it, you can see what other officers have went to jail for covering shit up. And it's sad. And yes, I did what I said I was going to do, folks. I contacted the FBI. I contacted the field office in Jackson, Mississippi, and I waited online. I waited on phone. And folks, let me tell you how brave you have to be. I ain't turned the corner this time, but all of you out there making that left turn going home, turning the corner. But I didn't turn the corner. Now, I ain't have to put on my big boy britches because I had them on already. I didn't have to take a deep breath because I'm already a courageous individual. And you have to be courageous in order to survive in a hostile land, hostile territory. That's Meridian, Mississippi, under Percy Bland and that Bama. Let me tell you niggas something. If y'all don't tar and feather that nigga and run his ass out of town, let that nigga come back to Meridian. He want that power. He don't give a damn about you. He's trying to take advantage of a situation. He's trying to see that you're so displeased with Jimmy Smith that you'll go back to the past. Okay, well, go back to slavery. You still enslaved. Go back and get you a T-Model Ford. Go get you an old car. You don't want that old shit. You want the new shit. It's time for something new. It's time for Mud Deer. Y'all see it all the time. Mud Deer tell them what they need to be told and do what need to be done. You done seen Tyler Perry movies all the time. Mud Deer knows what to say. Mud Deer Jax knows what to do. She has the experience. She has the education. And blacks and white, even a radical like me like her. And it's time for change, folks. And we need to get behind the Rita Jax bandwagon and make her mayor. Oh, boy, let me tell you, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Boy, the universe, my daughter told me this a long time ago, the universe sees everything. And I can assure you that, boy, you talking about karma. If Rita Jax was to become mayor, I think some people would actually have a heart attack and die because they treated her so bad. But you know about Rita. Rita wouldn't be vindictive. She's not a vindictive person. She's just a strong black woman that's going to protect herself. And she love her folks. She love people. I didn't say black people. She loved people. She loved justice. She loved right doing. And because of that, those that are in certain positions don't want her there. Well, we need Muddy now because she's going to come with the Band-Aid. We'll stop getting those 1,000 cuts because it's time for, I ain't telling Rita Jax to do that. I just know what a male Eddie Holder do. Shit, y'all to be suing me. I wouldn't even care because I'm going to make it right for my people because I'll get rid of the entire school board. The whole entire city council can be okay if they was to do things that's more viable in our community. We can't let Ron Turner. We can't let James Carter. We can't let any of them manumission type Negroes come in there and continue on the same old shit that Percy Bland gave us and Jimmy Smith continues to give us. It's time for something new. It's time for us to take control of what's our children learning. You know what? I got into it with my baby mama. I talked to her and told her in a very nice way, but I said what I meant and I meant what I said. Damn it, I don't want you putting your fucking hands on my children. No, I didn't talk like that, but I'm a little bit upset now, so I'm using profanity when I normally don't. I'm not cursing as much as I used to. I don't want you putting your hands on my child. I'm going to tell you why. Not just my child, any of my children. I don't want you telling them what to do or how to do. Now, it's okay if you are a professional, if you are a wise person. I don't want you to be a damn fool trying to tell my children what to do. I don't want you to be an ignorant person telling my children what to do. I don't want you to be an uneducated person trying to tell my children what to do. Now, oh wow, I don't give a damn who you is. You can be my mother. You can be my brother. You can be my sister. You can be other children. But I don't want you telling my children what to do or how to do. Now, once they get grown, they're at the age of accountability. But I don't want that. I'm going to tell you why. You want to give my child advice and you hadn't finished high school? You want to give my child advice and you didn't have a college education? Well, that's okay. That's not necessary. You want to give my child advice and you living in fucking public housing, getting food stamps, don't have no job, don't have no vehicle, and you want to tell my child what to do? Shut the fuck up and leave my child and leave our children alone. Now, that's a fool. How is it that a fool can give advice? Now, if I want to build a house, I'm going to get advice from a carpenter. I'm not going to get advice from an electrician. If I want advice on, and Mon Jackson's one of the best, I would ask his advice. about things like that. If I wanted to build a house, I'm not going to ask an automobile mechanic. You understand what I'm saying? That means I'm taking advice from a fool. I'm taking advice from somebody that don't know anything about my situation and live life. How about because you're grown, not by mentally, because you have different stages of mentality. You're grown numerically. You're 21. You think you're grown. You know everything. Well, you better go look in the mirror and see and ask yourself, what have I done lately to make a difference in my life or other people? Like, shut the hell up and leave other people children alone. And so I said that to say this. Damn it, we need to get these peoples out of our fucking communities, out of our damn school boards, out of our schools, out of our damn city hall, and put people in there like us, intelligent people, people that's gonna make a difference and take out children where they need to be done. I am not going to live forever, so I live on. We live on through our children. They telling you that shit when you watch The Lion King. You ain't gonna live forever, but you live on through your children. But if they destroy our children, then we gonna go. Yes, I contacted the FBI, and it took a lot of cojones to do that. Not for me. Some of you out there wouldn't do it for nothing in the world. If what you're doing is right, why should you fear? And so I know the Meridian Police Department gonna look at this. Yes, I reported the Meridian Police Department, and while the person that gave the expose of what actually happened did not get the name correct, and I didn't get it correct, I have it correct now, Dietrich Robinson. Also, the FBI has the correct name. So the ones that need to know do know. So as you speak, Meridian Police Department, what you're doing is covering up. And I'm tell y'all this is that I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bring some more exposés. I'm gonna do that. And folks, I tell you what, I'm gonna contact the SCLC. I'm gonna contact and reason why I want to do the Southern Poverty Law Center is because they do make a lot of difference. Oh, but YouTube best, bro, you gonna contact us? Why hell, Ben Crump? Why hell no? Them niggas ain't worth the shit. They need to be tarred and feathered too. They've been sold out. They have selected them. Now, Al Sharpton used to be okay, but they bought him out like they do most of us. They buy us out. They offer you money. If they can't buy you, they'll kill you like they killed Martin Luther King. And another way they'll do it, they'll destroy you economically, meaning you won't get a job. That's why we need to create our own jobs. So we don't need them to destroy us economically. And we need to go out and vote so that we can put our people in there, not their people. Listen to what they say. Jimmy Smith didn't even have a platform. He never promised you one thing that he's going to do. And you put him, an ex-police officer that was retired, that had a stroke, you put him over the city of Meridian. You niggas are fucking crazy. You hear Two Bell Tom say, bro, you voted for him. I use him. You got to use one devil to get rid of another devil. I use him to get rid of, I supported him to get rid of Percy Bland ass. Use a devil to get rid of a devil. However, I voted for Weston Linderman, but y'all didn't do that. See how you niggas did? Man, y'all get to feeling good about the wrong thing. You know what I'd do if I was God? I'd burn most of the churches down, and damn all the niggas is in there with them. I'd burn them down too. You know what I'd do if I was the damn president of the United States? I'd shut Meridian, Mississippi down. You know what I'd do if I was God? I'd damn shut it down. Now, I ain't talking about doing nothing to hurt everybody, but you got people that don't mean nobody no good. I don't care what color they are. Now we're gonna read your comments, and so Q, read the comments, and if I have to answer your question, I will.
Okay, it's a lot. I'm gonna start from the top. Fred said, "Good evening, fam."
What's up, Fred?
Erica Kemp, she waved, also basically saying hello. Denise Jenkins, she said good afternoon, Gray, but I think she meant good evening. But yeah.
Hey.
And then also Denise Jenkins commented a lot, so I'm not gonna keep saying her name. I'm just gonna read her comments. But she said he's not. I guess she was talking about Dustin Markham or whoever you was talking. And also she said no equal justice. And also she said, Gray, they don't care about our kids. I know firsthand.
And let me speak. It seems that I see what Angie Jordan and Angie. I am so sorry. Me being just a black person, but being a black man, I can feel that. It really bothers me, and I want y'all to know that it does bother me what happened to her brother, and that story hadn't gotten out. But see, you know what, folks, we can get some accountability, and how we would do that is that we have to rise up. We got to do like those children did back in 1970, marching from Northwest, and when they picked up other students, those students didn't ask what was going on. They knew they was going downtown because nobody was being treated fairly, and our children are not being educated. And then while Dwayne Davis is doing a good job, and while Joe Norwood Jr., but not really. When you look at the school board, they approve for those school board members to be there. And those school board members and the school board members, for some uncanny reason, keep John Compton ass there. Go ahead.
Let me correct you, babe. They just said that's her nephew, not her brother.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I just saw the last name and made an assumption. But go ahead, baby, read the comments. I finished.
Okay. Okay. It's a lot of it's let me go
We
back
don't
up.
care about a lot. We
I
want.
know. I'm
Yeah.
just. I had to stroll back up. Ebony Doll said, "Hey,
Yeah. Hey,
George.
Ebony.
George Mitchell said I was in that march. We lost
Sure.
all the way.
That's
We
right.
lost all the way to Harris. And then Denise Jenkins said Thomas is a smart butt.
Yeah, but Thomas said he's doing it. You know, I'm using a type of reverse psychology, but not really. What I'm doing is pointing out that even though we don't like him, that everything he does is anti-black or anti-community, black community, but he's doing what he's elected to do for his people. And if our city council men and women would do what George Thomas is doing, a lot of the things that we're discussing wouldn't be taking place.
Then Xavier said Dietrich did me the same way. I was handcuffed and he was manhandling me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know that, and that Xavier is my son, and that's another thing is that, and when they have my last name, they get mistreated when they go before the Meridian Police Department, not because they done any more than Jordan did. He just wanted to see the judge. And Dustin, man, that's sad. Dustin need to go. Dustin need to go. John Howard need to go. Jimmy don't want the job, folks. So what we need to do is we need to get rid of him. Now I'm going to get another video next week, folks. I want you all to know that next week we gonna have part 2 to this video, and we're gonna bring another person that's going to be speaking. And so, but again, the FBI has been informed, and I'm sure that they'll investigate this as we are speaking. And I would be so glad when we get justice. And we don't get justice, but they're so quick to put our people in jail. One of the things that they like to do is they did to someone, and I don't want to call his name, and I'm not well, I guess it's okay for me to call him. That's little Laura. They took her brother to jail, and that's my little sister Trish Allen husband, and I think his name is Raymond Evans. And if I think that's it, but either way, they took him to jail on a state charge that he had been charged with and was on bond with, and they seized a lot of money that belongs to him. When he started asking for that money back, of course, then they said the Fed took over his case. I don't think that's right, people. I don't think it's right for them to do that. But you understand that Michael Grace, if he was the DA now, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through. So what we got to do now is we got to start holding people accountable. But we can't ever get lawyers out of our community when our children are not being educated. Folks, don't think the Meridian is being singled out. This is a thing that they're doing to our children all over America. Any other questions, Q? Or any other concerns?
Denise was asked, she said, but wasn't it 5 shots?
It was 5. It was 3 while he had the gun. I'm assuming that 1 missed and 2 hit him. And then the 2 in the end was when he stood over him and shot him twice in the back. Now that's I don't have evidence of that, but that's what I was told. And I think that that's the truth, because it makes sense when you hear 5 bullets and they're not saying anything. You don't see Dietrich Robinson. So it's a cover up at the Meridian Police Department. And I got to say this to to the chief of police and everybody that's down there that's involved with this is that you're wrong. And all of you should go to jail. And you're easy to put us in jail. Dustin, your ass should go to jail too. I'm gonna just tell you, you need to go to jail. Reason why you need to go to jail because you the one be getting other people to do that illegal shit. Here you is, and you know the things that your father have done. Your father really should be ashamed of your ass, but he probably ain't. He probably proud of you because you're a judge, but he really should be ashamed of your ass because of the little small shit that you do, throwing little straps of meat up under the table to the dogs, and you one of the dogs. You and every other black person in the city of Meridian, the United States, the dogs up under the table along with me. Man, here you is, you think that you doing us a favor every time you do something in the black community. Nigga, you atrocious. You ain't right, and you need to go. And Jimmy Smith, you need to go too. I thought that you didn't micromanage your apartment, but obviously you do. But it's time for us to change, people. It's time for us to stop going through this. Boy, I tell you, mentally hope rolling over in her grave. Is anything else that we want to say, babe? Anybody else that we need to address or any other comments? We see all your comments.
Yeah.
While you talking, I'm going to look at and see if there's anything that I need to address or say, but I want to speak to all of you. And look, y'all keep on watching this and y'all pass this and share this. And let's mobilize. Let's get a thing going where we all going to vote. Now, Q and I ain't gonna be able to vote, but we can come down there. We can work. We can register people to vote. We can do whatever we need to do. But we're not gonna be able to vote when this coming election come up again in this mayor election. But I promise you, I still own property down there, and we gonna come down. I don't want to run for nothing. I want the right people to run for stuff. We need to put a train, and we need to show them that we're no longer playing, that we're gonna do something about this. Curious, and any other comments that you want to read?
Yeah, it's okay. I was just saying, no, Tony Lee said it is sad, and it was one I just two I wanted to address. Denise Jenkins said, "Gray Jimmy talks to those black board members like shit. He won't let them do anything for our people. Money is there to do the roles, but Jimmy said get a bond."
Okay, well, let me address that. The reason why Jimmy wanted to get a bond is because he was a lobbyist for that same bonding company when he ran for mayor. And so you got to always follow the money. Why would he direct money to this bonding company? But when you got a person that's got to do that, because it's going to be some kind of kickback. Now, I don't have evidence of that. That's just how they do things. So you got to follow the money. And the board members, and you can't take up for the board members. You understand, it takes 3 votes to approve anything. So they still went along and approved those bonds. They still go along and do the things that need to be done. They still went along and they approved for Deborah Young, unqualified to be chief of police. They still allow for that. We have 4 black city council individuals on the council. And we only have 1 white, but they get that 1 white person is doing his job, and those 4 black council people are missing in action. I could charge them with dereliction of duty, because you got to look at the state. Yeah, the roads look good, but damn it, all of us don't have cars to ride on them. So it ain't about the roads, it's about the miseducation of our children. And we need to rise up. All of you out there listening to me, you need to make sure that everybody can vote. Next week, I'm gonna put them things up there that the Constitution said. And if anybody they said can't vote, then I'm gonna file a lawsuit against the Secretary of State and the county and everybody else. We gonna stop them from damn cutting on us so much. We gonna let them know there's no way that we could be where we are if we were not doing what we were doing. If we were doing what we were supposed to be doing, we wouldn't be having this conversation, and I wouldn't have this job here. We are kings. We are kings and queens of kings and queens. We were the first people on this earth. From us, everything else came. And you know in your Bible to say that those that are first shall be last, but we allow for that shit to happen to us because we are highly intelligent people. But we won't call that FBI. Y'all make that right turn like Gray Hope did. Anything else you want to say, baby?
I just want to say, J Boogie E said that was too many shots for one man. And then Angie Jordan said MPD better count their days. They going down because they was beating on her nephew.
Yeah, she need to also contact the FBI, contact the Justice Department, Send me an email at reachingoutwithEddie@yahoo.com, and I'll help you in any way I can. And that's interview out there that are having problems. But you got to start helping yourself. You got to start voting. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this voter thing going so that we can get them up out of there and put our people in for the first time. And we're going to hold our people accountable. We want to look at the report card. You look at everybody's report card, they all get an F. And I'm going to say all of them, including George Thomas, the only one get an A, because the children that are in those Meridian Public School are 97, 98, and 95% black. So George Thomas get an A, and all the rest of them get an F. Anything else? Anybody else comments you want to read? And I want to say this. He didn't get shot 5 times. The gun, he got shot. Dietrich Robinson got shot twice. But the gun went off 3 times while it was in the possession of him and Reginald Jordan. If I tell my story, they were struggling over the gun. No, he shot that big nigga up off him. He shot him off, and then they started struggling over the gun. The gun went off again, and it didn't hit anyone. And then Dietrich Robinson stood over that man and shot him twice in the back while he was handcuffed on his stomach, folks. All of you should be mad about that shit.
It's a lot of comments rolling in, but
we can kill them rolling. Y'all, you look at them while I continue to talk to the people.
The Denise Jenkins said they just got a new board member, Mrs. Deborah Young from Bank Plus.
And see, that's another thing. We keep getting those bougie Negroes that don't care anything about most of the people in Meridian, or I'll say most of the black people in Meridian, about 80 to 90% of them are economically depressed. And that's not a put down, folks. That's just fact. So we got to get people from the economically depressed area to be on that school board. We don't need no Deborah Young, whoever she is from damn Bank Plus. We don't need no white folks on that school board at all, because you ain't got no white folks at the school. It's okay to have one, maybe one. Yeah. Y'all didn't make me mayor. Y'all didn't make me judge. Boy, ooh, Lord. They probably would have came, but they probably would have found some kind of way to bring some kind of judicial performance complaint against me. But go ahead, man.
Angie Jordan said, we already know, LOL. That's why they going down. Can't say too much information, but they going down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I want to say this, people, too, is that I can't reiterate enough is that family members and people you know are going to jail for they're doing that. They're using the same laws, but the RICO Act, racketeer influence, corrupt organization, they're using that. They're using conspiracy. That's the same thing they brought down the mob, and they don't have anybody else to bring down. So they're going to use that to bring our community down. And they do that by putting men, look at the men, the economic impact that it's going to have against the black community to put that many black peoples in that area in jail. But they didn't just do that in Meridian, Mississippi. They did that in other parts of states and in other states in the United States, but they ain't doing it to them. When have you ever known anybody there to round up 62 white folk? You haven't seen it, you won't see it. Had Reginald Jordan been a white person, oh man, it wouldn't be the same thing. I ain't talking about the white person that hang in the hood. Let's just talk about the white person that live out in the county. And it would have been a total different story. But when we put black people in charge, we suffer more, and that's their game. We don't have an excuse. But you're not being discriminated against. Jimmy Smith, one of y'all. You're not being discriminated against. Dietrich Robinson is black. But he violated that man's civil rights. And they've been doing that shit. They were killing Negroes under Percy Bland. They done started killing them now under damn Jimmy Smith. They done it already. Now they done start shooting them however they want to. That man destroyed for life, folks. Could have been you. Could have been me. It could have been my child. Could have been your child, folks. It's our people, though. It's our kind being mistreated. Rights being violated by our own kind. But we ain't got to accept this shit because democracy means temporary job. We need to get rid of them niggas. We ain't got to worry about Dustin Mark and Deborah Young. Any of them niggas Jimmy Smith don't do it. We can send their ass out the door with him. Anything else, man?
That's well, let me see.
Well, folks, I tell you what I'm going to do is that I'm going to read all your comments. And if anybody, again, that's reaching out with Eddie@yahoo.com, you can always send me an email. And I know that the person They're going to kill those people. They will kill you in Meridian rather than let that information get out. They would do all they can. They would kill Reginald Jordan if they could. They don't want to go to jail. They want to keep on administering justice while they create injustice. They will kill you. They will kill you out there in podcast land. They tried to kidnap and kill me. I got all that in my lawsuit, folks, and I have evidence because I got everything on a hard drive. Folks, they don't play. If they'll kill me, what you think? They don't, and they want to kill you because they don't want you to expose them. They don't want to be exposed. They want to continue to represent you and wear their dignified clothes while they rob, steal, and kill in the name of law and justice, which ain't nothing but bullshit. I want to thank y'all for listening. Reaching out with Eddie at yahoo.com.